So this question reads, workers at a water treatment plant open 8 valves, G, H, I, K, L, N, O, and P, to flush out a system of pipes that needs emergency repairs. To maximize safety and efficiency, each valve is opened exactly once, and no 2 valves are opened at the same time. The valves are opened in accordance with the following conditions. All right. We have our inventory, G, H, I, K, L, N, O, and P. And the valves are going to be opened one at a time in an order. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's go to rule number 1. Both K and P are opened before H. Okay, so we have K and P before H. So that tells us that H can't be first or second because it has 2 valves before it, and K and P can't be last. All right, rule number 2, O is opened before L but after H. All right, so we have H, then O, and then L. So that means that L can't be first and L can't be second because there's 2 valves before L. Likewise, H can't be last and H can't be 7th because there are 2 valves after H. And we know that O can't be first and O can't be last. And now, before moving on to rule number 3, let's combine rules 1 and 2. We have K and P. We know K and P are before H. We know that H is before O and O is before L. All right, rule number 3. L is opened after G. Okay, so we have G and then L. So L can't be first. Again, we have that deduction. Now we can say that G can't be last. Now we can tack this on to our larger chain. So we know G is before L. Rule number 4. N is opened before H. Okay, so we have N before H. Okay, so we know that H can't be first. We already have that though. And then from this, we also know that N can't be last. And now we can tack this onto our large chain. So N is before H. And rule number 5, I is opened after K. All right, so K is before I. That tells us that I can't be first and K can't be last. And we already know that. So let's go ahead and tack this onto our large chain. So we know K is before I. All right, so what are the deductions we can make here? Well, we know that last can't be K, P, H, O, G, or N. So that leaves us with either I or L. And looking at our larger chain, we can see from pinpointing the valves that have no valves before them, so that's K, P, N, and G, that these are our 4 options that could go first. Because if they had something before them, then they couldn't go first. Likewise, the same deduction we just made about 8th, we can make that same way. Any valve that has nothing after it could be 8th. So that's I and L. So we can place our options for first in our first slot, and those are the only deductions we can make. So that's our setup, our rules, and our deductions. Let's go ahead and hit the questions.